Hi everyone, welcome back to Faraday Academy and another live stream. If you're here, go ahead and say hi in the chat. And as always, feel free to chat and to give your input throughout this stream. So to get started, first I want to say a couple things about live streaming. So I'm going to change up my live streams a little bit. Every Wednesday I will continue to do this same live stream at the same time, hopefully. But I have a very special announcement that I will be live streaming from Free Code Camp's channel on Fridays, and hopefully that will start this Friday if we can get everything set up in time. So that will be at this same time on Friday, so 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So I'm really excited about that. Those will be a series of Vue.js live streams. And then also I'll be live streaming on Sundays, and I'll probably be doing that on Twitch. I want to give the Twitch platform a try and see how streaming works, and it seems like a lot of fun with lower latency with the chat. So I've been kind of watching a few other streamers, figuring out how it works. So I'm hoping to have that ready by Sunday, and I can start live streaming on Twitch. My Twitch account is Faraday Academy as well, so you can follow me over there. All right, so I'll be working on this. Hi everyone. I'll be working on this Vue.js application still, this front end for the productivity app, which I've been building in Nuxt. This is my first time live streaming and building this kind of application in Nuxt, so it's been an interesting learning experience so far. So here's the application. It's linked below. The Reasonable Productivity group on GitHub in the web front end repo. And you can see in the README it has some information about routes, technologies, and stuff. I will be updating the README later. I thought I already updated it, but I guess I hadn't put all the information in yet. Hi, Basil. Okay, so the tasks that I'm doing are in this projects board right here. And kind of basic, but it just to keep me a little organized. So last time I hooked up crud operations and got them working with the Python API that I built in previous live streams. So this time I have one more task that's outstanding with checking off tasks. And but since the title of this video is about lists, I figured I'd go ahead and add the list pages and get that started. And then these two other smaller tasks, updating the nav menu with the routes and making the checkboxes work, I'll save those for later. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add the list pages and routes just like I did for the tasks before. Hi, Abed, how are you? Okay, so I have my servers running. I have my backend server running. Let me go back into this. So Python manage server run or manage.py run server, and this is Django REST API. Okay, so that's running on port 8000 for the backend. And then the front end is Nuxt. I did npm run dev, and that's running on port 3000. Oh, welcome. I hope I will learn a lot of programming. What stage are you at in learning programming? Are you learning Vue right now? Let's see. I guess this is a beginner to intermediate live stream, but it does have Vue, so it's not the most basic, I guess. Vue plus Nuxt, so one abstraction plus another abstraction. Okay, let's start with the list page. So I have my code open over here. This is my front end code. Long time not programming. Oh, okay. So you had some experience before. Now you're getting into web development, I guess. Good. The web development, or web, is really exciting right now with all the innovation. It's a lot more fun than I remember it when I was, a webmaster like 15 years ago, or longer actually. Wow. Okay. Let's see. So where do we start? So in pages, we have our tasks pages, which map to the tasks route here, and that's pulling from the API. Okay, so those pulling from the API. Now we need a route like this for lists. Oops. So let me create another folder here called lists. New folder. Infrastructure. Okay. It's okay. Sometimes I have a hard time balancing the chat with actually coding. But yeah, I like to chat. That's the whole point of a live stream. Otherwise, I would just record this. Okay, so I need an index file here. So Nuxt knows which file to look at. Okay, so index.view. And then I'll probably copy my tasks index. Let me take a look. Actually, I'll just write a new one. This has a lot of custom stuff in it. All right. So now that I have this list folder, when I go to /lists, Nuxt will automatically know to load this index file. So let me put something in here. Let me do a template, and I'll put a container in here. I'll probably end up moving these containers outside later as just a general wrapper around these pages, but I haven't figured out how I want to do that yet. Okay, and then for the grid system, I'll put a row and just close that, and then I'll put a column inside. Oops, wait. Not sure why it did that. Oh wait, this is a V column, yeah. Thank you, Kasal. That's nice of you. Okay, so inside here I want to display lists. Now I am using, oh, my linting's complaining, I think. So I am using Vuetify as my front-end Vue component library. So the cat hair on my screen. Okay. Let's see. I want lists. Let me search for lists. So I can just copy a nicely styled list and then just loop over the items inside. So I'll probably start off with the basic list. I mean, Vuetify, in all their components, they just have so many options. Like, I have props and slots and everything else. But I think I just want a basic list. And actually, it would be nice to have a tree view. So, because I do want to have nested items in the list, because I want to make it draggable as well. So this is kind of a nice tree view in here. But let me see and compare their actual tree view component. Okay, yeah, this is more along the lines of what I want. And it'll probably be much easier to nest in here. Now, let me see. Okay, and then I can turn checkboxes off and on for these lists. Okay, so let me just take a basic list here. And let me first see, wow, that's really simple. Just pass in the items. Okay, so the items are this array of objects, and then if you have nested items, they're inside this children array, and then you have objects, and then you could have another children array inside of that, I guess. So you can have these forever nested children. But for right now, let me just copy this tree view and put it in here. And now I need items, so I'm going to copy their default items for now and then update them later. I like to have an extra row at the end. Okay, so inside data, let me copy all this, all the items. children. It's a lot of items. Okay, so I'll copy up to there. I was trying to make a Google homepage. Oh, really? Why'd you fail? Wow, that video is 4.5 years old, that video series. I thought about taking it down actually, but then I thought, you know, it's a piece of history. So when I first wanted to start this channel and had no idea what I was doing. Okay, so that's fine. So it should loop through items now. Oh, wait. I need to put this on the data. I can't just put items in this view object. Okay, so, and now I need to return in object. Okay, and now I will copy this and put it here. All right. There we go. So now it should work. And yeah, let me make sure it works. Hi, Sai. Programming is so overwhelmingly tough. I agree with you. There were a couple times when I was, I guess, unexpected trailing comma. Should I remove all the trailing commas or should I update my linting? Let me update my linting. Let's see. I don't mind comma dangles, but because in JavaScript, I mean, there's no concept of tuples or anything else that differentiates, I guess, having comma dangles versus not. Let's see, where am I? ESLint. Okay. Where are the rules? Let me add a rule. Okay, comma dangle, what should I say? Is it off? Is that going to restart the server? Oh, cool. Next builds it. I think in regular Vue you have to actually restart it. Hi, Cigar. Oh, did you watch his live stream? His Vue.js live stream on Twitch? I sent it out to everybody. He was building the hackathon I did last Sunday. He was building the front end app to that hackathon. The tasks app. Yes, this is the tasks app. It should be in the description below. It's the reasonable productivity app. But I do need to finish my other API, so I'll probably be doing a hackathon this Sunday. Okay, so that's not right. What should I say? Just warn? Should I stop guessing and look up the ESLint rule? It might be 0 or something. I feel like I can never quite remember. Maybe I do have to stop the server. I just don't want it to error every time there's a comma dangle. I don't think there's any reason for that. Cool. Yeah, it was a good stream. I kept telling him to zoom in a little bit more. Oh, sweet. Okay. So now it's just Warren worked for that. Good. Missing space before function parentheses. I can fix that. I think it's talking about data here. That's cool. All right. Sweet. Awesome. So now I should have lists. If I go to the lists endpoint, I have lists. Sweet. Awesome. Now, the thing that's different and why I was thinking about using Element UI is because it has a really nice draggable feature, which Vuetify, I don't think they have anything that's draggable. I mean, chips. So, like, these things you can drag, but that's, you know, I need something bigger than that. So I'll have to implement another library with Vuetify for that. But that's fine. Vuetify is great in so many ways. All right, so now I have lists. Now I need to be able to pull lists from the API. So let me look at my API actually. So let me, oh yeah, I have to fix this. It keeps saying not found GraphQL. I'm not using GraphQL. And I didn't think I set that up with Nuxt, but maybe I did. Or maybe I chose that option accidentally. Later. Okay. So let's look at, so I'm in my backend now. I'm just looking for what my API looks like. So URLs, so I have lists. Okay, so yeah, I did the nested URLs because this should be lists slash. If I look at my config, yeah, so list slash, and then I should have CRUD operations on lists plus list slash list ID. Okay, so let me run my server again. All right, that runs so quickly. Okay, I'll take care of comma dangles later, or I could probably run a lint fix and that would work too. Or I don't know if it does comma dangles. Can you, have I tried Quasar? I've looked at Quasar, but I haven't really tried it yet because it just seems like another Vue material framework like Vuetify, and Vuetify is already so massive and I've spent so much time learning it that I haven't seen a reason to use Quasar over Vuetify, but you can let me know if there is. Okay, so after data, let me just fold up. There's so much in there. Okay, after data, let me add, let's see, I need to call an action to get the list from my backend, a Vuex action. So let me make a methods object, and then I'm gonna, oops, oh, I uncode folded. Okay, so I need to import map actions from Vuex. I don't really need to because I can get to actions off of this.store.actions, but this just imports it into my namespace and makes it look a little bit cleaner, I think. So anyway, so let's see. Let me make a method, and what should I call this? Let me use the same naming convention that I used in tasks. So let's see. I have my tasks methods. I have add task, edit task, tasks. Okay, so created get all tasks. So I need this get all lists because that's what initially fetches and displays the tasks. You're at what level in programming? Senior developer, front-end programmer? Oh, I missed that message. So I worked as a senior developer last year. That was my first time I had the title senior developer. And well, I guess I got hired for that job the year before. So it's been over a year and a half, I guess. Yeah, so I led my first team. I learned a lot. And now I do consulting. And I pretty much, I come on as a senior dev now. So yeah. One second. I had a computer error. Let me just see. Just one second. All right. And okay, there we go. Yeah, so how long did that take? I guess it took me like 3.5 years to start working as a senior dev. Maybe 3.5 years. But I was spending pretty much all day, every day studying for a while. So I guess it varies. Some people get there in like 2 years, some people in 5 years. And it depends on what you specialize into. All right, so what do I need? Oh yeah, this created. I need created this.get all tasks. And I think it wants me, my linter's going to complain if I put it before or put it after methods, because I used to put lifecycle methods after this methods object, but apparently Vue recommends that you put this first. So anyway, I'm gonna have get all lists here, which will be an action, but I haven't made it yet. So let me go ahead and map actions. Oops. I have to use the spread operator, map actions, and then this will be namespaced, so it will be under the lists. Is it list or lists? Yeah, tasks is plural, so I'll keep the same convention. So lists, and then import the array of actions that I want. And right now it's only get all lists. Okay. Okay, cool. So that should work. And now I just have to basically make that action. So I'll go into my store. I have tasks.js. So let me make a new one called lists.js. Okay. And now in lists.js, I think I'm just exporting, export const actions, export const state. So I need to make state and mutations and actions. And then, of course, I'll need these as well. So let me go in here and just make these real quick. Export const state, and that's an object. And export const actions, that's also an object. And then export const mutations, which is an object. Okay, so I'm going to start with state because this will have my lists in it. So what did I do last time? So I had tasks, which is an array inside my tasks namespace, which I guess is confusing. So inside my lists namespace, I'm going to make a lists array as well. It will be less confusing, I guess, when there are more things on state. There's more information besides just one array. All right, and now I need to make that method. So I need to make get all lists. This will be an async function because I'm making an API call. And let's see, I need to be able to update state, so I need to commit a mutation. And then I'm not passing anything in, so that's all I'll need to do. But I will need to now make an API call, so I'll have to do axios.get, make a get request, and first I need the URL, so I'm going to say API URL, which I have up here, and then slash. Am I using slash API yet? Let me see. No, I'm just using plain slash list. So I'm going to add slash API to these later, but I don't want to break anything right now. I don't think anything would break, but I'll set that up later. Okay, so axios.get API URL and then slash lists. So if I make a get request, that should return all of the lists there. I don't need to pass in a payload or headers or anything, so that should just work. But I do need to get the response, so const, and then I think I'm pulling data off of the response. because there should be data. So, and then I will update state. So just trying to use the same naming convention. So get all tasks here. Yeah, I pulled data off. Oh, I need to await. And then commit set. Okay, so let me go ahead and await that API call. And then I'm going to make a set mutation here as well. So commit set, and I'll just pass in data. Is that what I put in? Yeah, just pass in data. See if that works. And now I just need to make this set mutation, which is not async. Oh wait, my linting is gonna complain. I need to put a space there. Okay, and now I do get the state here though, plus the payload that I pass into the mutation. So I can do state dot and then update this lists here once I get those back from the server. So state.lists equals, yeah, payload. That's it. Okay, so this should work. Let me see if it does. So I think there was something that used to be used in Vue. I can't remember exactly now, but Axios works great, and it's not a big deal to import it. So I just usually use Axios. I mean, fetch works in most cases now as well, because now the API is standard for that. So I don't know. Axios, I don't see a problem with importing Axios, but no, it's not the same as Angular where it has so many built-in things. It's kind of in between React and Angular in that way, where it has a lot of things built in or built into the ecosystem, but not like everything. Okay, so state.list. Okay, let me try this out. Let me go here. Unexpected trailing. Oh, map actions is not defined. That's important. That's an error. Let me go. It's in here. So no, it's not. It must be in my lists index. Oh, because I didn't make it plural. Okay. To be honest, you lost me. I'm far away from programming. Oh yeah, because this is Vue, so it's not like it's basic, um, or even regular JavaScript. So, I mean, yeah, what are you learning JavaScript right now? So my free code camp live stream. It depends what you want to learn first, like if you're learning web development and JavaScript and that kind of thing. My live streams, okay. Um, yeah, maybe I should do like a basic uh regular JavaScript live stream on here. That would be fun. Maybe I'll schedule that for next week. But also my live streams on Fridays that I'm doing on Free Code Camp, they will be I'll be building all of the Free Code Camp projects in Vue.js, so you can see that kind of these shorter, smaller projects and more about how Vue works. This is a kind of a bigger project, so that might be easier for you. Okay. If you join, wait, I'm trying to look for, okay, so I'm going to make the API call here, and let me just refresh the page. So if you join my Discord, it's in the description below. You can give me, there's a channel there to post stream ideas or post questions or anything you have there. That's an easy place for me to communicate with everyone. Prototypal inheritance still feels confusing as heck. Yeah, JavaScript does things a little bit different. Okay, let me look at this list API call that I just made. I'd like to do some more advanced videos like that. Right now, honestly, I'm stuck on this one video I'm trying to get out, which is about the Vue CLI plugins, which has turned into me contributing to open source and doing so many different things, not just making a video. Um, but yeah, I have a whole advanced JavaScript series with prototypes and stuff. I just need to find the time to make it. Okay, morning routine. Okay, so it did pull back all the lists. Good, sweet. So now I just need to map state to my component so I can display it here. And DevOps role for pipeline application says. Oh, cool. Python is a pretty great language. I like to use it whenever possible. Okay, so this tree view, these items, so I need to overwrite all of these items now. I'm just going to delete them because now that I'm pulling in items from the API, I don't need those anymore. Okay, so items here, and then let's see. Actually, I don't need these on data anymore because what I'm going to do is add the computed object to my options, and then I'm going to map state here. So I'll have access to all of the lists. So on the list namespace, I want to, what do I want from state? I want the lists. So lists from lists. Okay. But now, because I imported it here, I should have access to lists globally. Instead of items here, I'll call it lists. And this should be what I get back from the API. Map state is not defined, you're right. Okay, so map state, there we go. Let's see. I really don't know, but when I use Quasar, oh, back to Quasar. Yeah, I'm interested. Oh, okay. Oh, because there are no nested items, so that's why there's no caret there to go down. Yeah, I'll have to look at Quasar and see at some point. You know, I just found another new framework. There's I can't even remember the name of it. There's so many. There's Inkline and Quasar, Vuetify, Element, and it's hard to keep up with. And they're all good. Like most of them are really good too. Okay, so now I need nested items to see the child view, but I don't have that represented. Actually, I don't have that represented in my API. So what I think I'm going to do is just hook up CRUD operations for these right now. So I can have like, I guess a pencil icon on hover, a pencil and an X icon. So I can delete or edit. Oh, and then I need an add. So I can just add a button for right now and figure out what I want to do later. I think most browsers will now not support Java in the future. We have to go and learn new things. Most web programming are going toward HTML5. Wait, what? You mean they won't support JavaScript in the future? They would be hard pressed to not support JavaScript with the web running on JavaScript for decades now. But I mean, the HTML5 standard doesn't replace JavaScript. Quasar is a lot. Like, what features? What features do you like about Quasar? Like, what's the big selling point for Quasar? Okay, let me add. Let's see. Let me add icons here first. Should I add? No, let me add an add button here. So let me be able to add a list first. So what should I do? So above tree view, I'm just going to use a regular Vuetify button. VBTN. What is it? Color equals primary. And then I guess I'll say add list item and then close that. Okay, let me see. Okay, that's fine. I don't need it styled yet. So now I need to hook up an event or an action for this when I click the button. So let's see. Let me do @click, capture the click event. And now, what should I call this method? Add item? Add item method? Yeah. That's just going to append an item to the list. So here I'll put add item. Oops. And then, oh, I need a comma there. Okay. So add item, and then I need to grab the, oh, wait. How can I add an item if I don't know what item I'm adding? Unless I just add a random item. I need an input box. So let me add an input box here. And let me put, what is it? Input group? Input text field. So input, I think it is text fields. But I want to have like the input box and then the button after the end. So like this, append outer. I think I'm already doing that somewhere. Yeah, like this, but I'll put a button there instead. Let me see if, oh, so they just put, they're just using the grid system there to add the button, I think. Maybe that's just what I'll do. Let me see. Oh no, they're using, oh, I see what they're doing. They're, if you can see it, they're using a slot. They're passing a slot into the input field. And then, so they're putting that button in a certain spot. The slot for append outer. Okay, well, let's see. So I'm gonna copy this slot, and yeah, they're just putting it inside of the text field. So now I'm gonna come up here and say, look, by the way, let me know if I need to zoom in or anything, or if my face gets in the way in the stream. The text, I don't always notice. Okay, so I have the text field now. I'm gonna go ahead and close that. And now I can pass to the text field. I'll pass in just this regular template tag. Template tags are useful because they don't actually display in the DOM, so you just use them for directives or whatever you want. But I'm telling Vue to pass in whatever I put inside of the template tag into the append outer slot. So it should go after the input. So let me actually now remove this button and paste in here. Okay, so now let me see. Sweet, and now it goes at the end. It looks okay, I guess. Let me actually first, I'm gonna make this list look a little bit nicer. So in small screen sizes, I want it only to have a width of 6 across, and then offset small, since there are 12 columns, I'll put 3 columns offset. Good, that looks much better. Okay, so now I should be able to type into this list and hit enter or click the button, and then it will add to the list. Hi Dave, how are you? That's a really cute icon you have. Or avatar, I guess. Okay, let's see. let me hook up the button. So what do I have for that? So I have this add item method right now. And I need to call an action on state because that's where I'm making all my API calls from. So let's see. I need to, what should I call it? I guess, what did I call it in tasks? Oh, I called it post new task. So I'm calling it based off of the HTTP method. So since I'm going to be importing the action into this component, I'm going to say post new list. Right. So, okay. So I have lists and then I have list items. I really wish I had a grease board here to draw this out. So I have lists and then list items. But then you can have nested lists as well. So, yeah, so I'm going to have to work that out in the database because right now you can only have one nesting. So, because I wanted to make this as easy as I could to start, but it still turned out not being easy. Anyway, so add item, post new list, and then all I'm going to do is get whatever I've typed into that input field, which new list title. I'm going to call it new list title, which is going to be a string. So I'll need to take this input field and now vmodel it. So vmodel equals new list title. Okay. And now when I hit the add item button, I can say this dot thank you, Becca. This dot, I'm pretty happy with my new internet. It's been doing well. Been able to stream from multiple devices and still get a good connection so far. Okay. This dot post new list, and I'll just pass in the title because right now I'm only passing in that one thing just to get this working. So now let me go into Vuex and oh wait, let me map that action first. So the action I'm going to create, which is post new list. Okay, and now, and you know this, now that I'm thinking about this, you know, I always prefer to do SQL, but now that I'm thinking about this, this might have been much easier to do in a NoSQL database. But oh well, I'm gonna give this a shot, and I can always change the database later if I want to. All right, so now I need to create that action to add a new list item. It's going to be another async function. I'm going to say post new list, and then I need commit to be available, and then I'm also going to pass in a payload, which will for right now just be the list title. So actually I should go ahead and make that, where is it? In my component, I should make this an object so that way my API is consistent. So const payload equals, let's see, what do I call it in the back end? What do I call the title of a list? I'll probably just call it title. Where is my list? So if I look at my database model, username, so oh, okay, so it's a name for a list. So I'm gonna need a name. So let's say name is this dot new list. I might as well just call that new list name then, because why would I have it called two different things in two different places? That would be weird. Okay, so new list name. Okay, and then I just need to pass in the payload, which is already an object with name on it. Now let me make sure description isn't required here. Null equals true. I think I'll have to set blank equals true on this as well. Man, I have to update the backend. Okay, so because null means that that field can be nullable, but I think to be able to save it as something blank, I'll need blank equals true as well. But I might be wrong, so let's see. Anyway, so this dot new post list passed in the payload with just name for now. And okay, so now, oh, I'll need to pass in a user ID. Or no, on the back end I think I can do that. Okay, anyway, let's do const response equals await, make an Axios call. So Axios, let me zoom in one here. That's close now. Maybe I can drag in the sidebar. Why don't I get a drag feature? This is weird. What happened? Is it just my mouse? I have no idea. Anyway, that's fine. Okay, so Axios dot post. So I'm making a post request to the same. So it's going to be API URL again. And then this will be /lists. Yeah, because I'm making it to the resource lists. It won't be a sub-resource or an item on the resource because that item hasn't been created yet, so I don't have an ID for it. Okay, so now I will pass the payload directly in here. And okay, that should be good. And now I guess I'll just log out the response, but I can see that in the network tab anyway. Okay, so post new list. And then let me go ahead and create a mutation. So add list. I'll get state payload. And then all I have to do here is do state.lists.push and then payload for the new list. So here I'll do const, no. I'm committing a mutation. So commit and then what is it? Add list. What did I call it in tasks actually? Oh, I just called it add. All right, sure. No, I need to differentiate here because I'm gonna eventually differentiate between lists and list items and all that stuff. So yeah, I'll differentiate that. So what would be the best way to mix infrastructure and programming? As you know, more of automation now goes hand in hand with scripting. Yeah. What would be the best way to mix it? I don't know. I mean, that would be DevOps, wouldn't it be? Because now they're expecting, basically a lot of sysadmins have transitioned into DevOps roles and have to learn programming. So, I mean, you'll still have to do Python scripting, learn Docker and all of that stuff. So I guess that's where you're headed, kind of. I did DevOps for a little while, but I was programming at the same time, so I guess, how much of it was, yeah, I guess a lot of it was programming because I had to do jobs, so it's probably the same thing you're doing, doing Python jobs and stuff. Okay, add list, commit add list. Oh, and I need to pass it the response. No, I'll have to get data here because with just payload, I won't have the ID of the list or anything, and I need that. So I'll get that back from the server after I create the new list. So I'm going to have to pass in data, even though it's a post request. Will post requests have data on it? I'm not actually. Well, we'll see what happens. I can pass back whatever I want. So, okay, so that's what I'm doing for post new list. Now, is it hooked up? I think it is with the button. So let me just try typing something in. So, cat stuff. Add new list. Wait, I have to open. Let me have my network tab open. 500 error, just as I expected. Good. The URL doesn't have a slash. You have to append slash. Okay. I need to change that on my backend. That's real annoying. That I have to add. So let me add this trailing slash to it for the post request. Okay. Well, yeah, let me know if you want a certain kind of stream or if you think some kind of JavaScript or Python stream would help. I've also been doing node classes for some students. Actually, tonight I have one. So I might eventually stream some of that material on my channel. I really want to. Let's see. Cat stuff. Okay, so this is better. At least I got a 400 this time. Yeah, just as I expected, this field is required. So, user. Oh yeah, that's right. Because for a second I was thinking I had user ID in the URL, but I really don't. I'm just doing the API and then slash lists. So I don't have the user ID. So I do need to pass that in via the payload. So let me see. Where am I keeping the user ID? I think I just have it hard-coded right now. Anywhere that I'm using it. Because I don't really have user IDs yet. So I'm just going to add that in and say user is 1. That'll be fine because there's no like login, anything like that so far. Python, okay. I'll see. Maybe once a week I can do like a beginner, not even beginner, but like intro to something live stream. That would be fun, I think. Okay, let me try one more time. Get rid of my network requests and cats. Oh, cool. It gave me a 201. That means created. Sweet. And now it appended to the list here. And even if I refresh and pull from the back end, I have it. Awesome. Okay, that's good. So now I have get requests. Hi, Evriana from Indonesia. How is everything going over there? Computer science student says it worth learning Vue.js. It's worth learning Vue.js if you want to build applications on the web, or even cross-platform mobile is pretty great in Vue.js. Yeah, it depends what you're doing. If you want to build interfaces for mobile or web or something, then yeah, Vue's definitely my favorite. I think it's a happy medium between all the other frameworks that came out before it, like React and Angular. It's really well designed. It's fast and efficient. It's just great. Yeah, so let's see. Now I need to add icons so I can delete these. And I wonder if I should... Yeah, right now I just want to get the operations working, so I'm just going to add some icons next to it and fix the UI later. Obviously, it doesn't look that good right now. So I need v-icon. So I probably already have icons somewhere in this app that I can just copy. Do I? Yes, I do. Sweet. Okay. Yeah, so V icon and then close circle. So that's an X icon to cancel. And then I have a pencil and delete icon. Cool. So these ones, I'm just going to copy here, yank it, and where am I? Where am I? Okay, back in my lists. So let's see. So in tree view, so actually there's probably some kind of slot that I'm going to have to pass in because I don't see all of the DOM elements here. So how do I put icons next to them? Let me put them outside for right now so I save them over here. Okay, cool. So let me look at Vuetify tree view and see what slots they have. Tree view. All right. I think the lag doesn't seem bad today for the chat. It seems pretty good. Sometimes it's, you know, past 10 seconds on YouTube, which is another reason why I'm checking out Twitch to see if it makes the chat better. Okay, so, oh yeah, slots. Let me look for slots. So what slots do I have in tree view? The append slot appends content after label. I think that's what I want. And then, why does it keep scrolling down? So, and then I have the label, prepend, and that's it. So it must be the append slot. And let me look for, where is it? So this is the prepend slot, I'm guessing, to put the icons before. And then, oh cool, that's pretty cool. So let me look at how it does the prepend. Template, yeah, V slot prepend item. Okay, so I'll just do that. So let's see. We make a template in here and V slot, the prepend slot, and then okay, just item. All right, item, and then close the template. Just make sure there's no typo. Yeah, that looks good. And then, did I say prepend? No, I meant append because I want it after. They're doing it before. So append. And then I want to copy these icons and paste them here. All right. Click.stop edit. So these will be edit list, and then I'll pass in the item, and then I'll pass in the item to these. So this will also be, oh wait, remove list. Ah, what did I do? Okay, so remove list. Sometimes I accidentally hit a Vim hotkey and I do something random and I have no idea what I've done. So at the end, let me add these two methods. I need an edit list and a remove list method, or it's going to complain if I try to run this. So I'm inside my methods, this method's right here. And let me add an edit list and remove list. Okay. I guess I'll just add the parameters now. Pass in the item. All right. So cool. Nice. That actually looks decent. Well, okay. All right, so now when I click on these, I should be able to know which list it is and be able to edit that particular list. Now when I edit it, I probably want something to pop up in line to be able to edit it. So let me see what they have here, if they have an example of editing. Nope. Search for edit, didn't find it anywhere. Currently making a project like Dribble for tailors. Node.js and Vue.js in the front. The Node API is basically done yesterday. I was setting up. Cool. You should share your project when you finish it. If it's open source, not if it's for a client. Oh, for tailors? Is tailors your client? I don't know what that is. Or maybe that's a technology. I don't know. But it might only be built into the table component. So dense footer filter slots. No. Simple checkbox. Man, there's so much. Okay. Customizing the rows. External pagination. Content editing. This is it. This is it. So this is exactly what I want. So if I click on an item, I can just edit it in line. There. I think that's what I want. Is that what I want? Yeah. So let me see. The v-edit dialog component can be used for editing data directly within a v-data table. Okay, but can it only be used in a v-data table? Let's see. V-edit dialog. Let me go to the API in the data tables, and here I can see v-edit dialog. Make it public. Cool. Yeah, feel free to share your tutorial. Probably the best place would be in my Discord channel, because I have a specific room for called I Made This, and anyone can share what you've made, what you've been working on. Cancel text, Dart. Oh, what am I looking at? V-edit dialog. So, can I use this anywhere? Edit dialog. Let me just look in dialogues real quick. So here are the dialogues. I have V dialog, and that's it, V dialog. So maybe I'll need to do a V dialog and just pop open a whole dialog. All right. It seems like that, because it seems like, go to all the way to the bottom. It seems like that just works inside of tables. What a bummer. But yeah, maybe because this interface is going to change, maybe I just won't want that content editable right there. So let me open a whole dialog for this for right now and see how that works. I could also have an expanding panel below the row, because eventually I'll have a description here that I can add. Okay, yeah, when you click edit, it's going to open a dialog. So let me go to dialog here. What theme are you using on VS Code? It's actually one that someone in my stream the other week suggested. It's called, oh, there's a lot of these. What was it called? Pale Night. This Pale Night theme. I wasn't sure what to think about it at first because it's a lot of purple, but I think the highlighting is actually pretty good. The contrast is good. So it's my favorite dark theme so far. And then for light themes, I like solarized light. Okay, so let me get a basic dialogue first. So V dialogue. Okay, and then inside I'll have a button to open the dialog, which I think I can do outside. Let's look at this. So without activator, so this is just a button outside of the dialog, which is what I want actually. So let me copy this one to the event that triggers. Okay, yeah, because I want to be able to put my button or action that opens the dialog anywhere, not just inside of the vDialog element. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so let me copy this through vDialog, and let me go back to here, and I'm just going to put it anywhere here because it's kind of outside of the scope of my page, but the button I have to take out of there. So I'm just going to comment it out for right now. Okay, so the dialog will open or close based off of this Boolean called dialog. And let me add that variable here. So well, let me call it edit dialog and then put it as false. And now let me change it here. So it's called edit dialog. And I'm going to put an input here to edit it. For the buttons, I'm going to put cancel, and this will set the edit dialog to false, so it'll close the dialog. I keep wanting to call it modal, but I guess everyone's agreed now that it's not going to be modal anymore, it's going to be dialog. Okay, and then this, so whether you agree or disagree, it'll close the dialog for right now. That's fine. So edit dialog. This will be saved though. That's going to be a save button because you're going to save your edits. And then what about this one? So let me close vCard title, and this will be edit item, and then this is going to be changed into an input box. That's just placeholder text. Okay, and now to open this, I need to set this to true. So I'm going to need to, so in edit list, let's start with that. So in this edit list function, I'm gonna do this dot edit dialog equals true. Okay, let me refresh this. Sweet, awesome. In a .vue file similar to .php file, and that both the HTML and JS can go in the same file. I wouldn't say it's similar, but yeah. So in Vue files, and because it's compiled before the browser reads it, so you basically have HTML, which is not exactly HTML because you have this, you have templating and variables and stuff inside. And then you have script tag, and you can also add CSS or Sass or whatever you want in the same file. So, although I guess the browser doesn't directly read the PHP files either, so similar, I guess. Okay. I think the last time I used PHP was like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. It's been a long time. Let's see. Remove item. Okay, so now that the dialog, let me go ahead and put an input field in the dialog box. Where's my dialog? So instead of this text here, I need a v text field, and this will be model, let's say, what am I going to call the v model? Current list, current list name. Oh yeah, I don't need anything inside, so let me just make this self-closing then. And let me add current list name to data here. New list name, yeah, so current list name. Or it's not current, it's selected. Selected or editing or something. I'll put selected. Let's see. Selected. All right. So now let me see what that looks like. So now I have this item here, but I want it to start off with this pre-populated. So let's see, when I open the modal, so here I need to find the title and pre-populate it. So I'm passing in item, so I'm sure somewhere on item I should get that name. So let me just log out item and see what it is. So in console, clear all that. Click edit. Okay. So, okay, so I have all of the fields. So I have name. So it'll be item.name then. So what I will do is set this dot, I can't remember what I called it. Oh yeah, selected list name. So selected list name equals item.name. And that'll set a default there. Cool. And then I can change it. But right now it just closes. All right, so I think that's pretty good. What time? Oh, it's hour 15. Okay, so I have like 15 more minutes for the stream. What do I want to get done in 15 minutes? Okay, I could do one more CRUD operation. So I could do edit, or I could do the rubbish. So let me do edit since it's already here. So once they finish editing, save, I need to make a method here. So save, and let me again borrow from tasks to make sure I'm calling it using the same naming convention. So save edit. All right, and then I need to make patch task. Okay, so let me do here, let me say save edit. All right. Wait, I need to be v modeling. Okay, so selected in this name. So I am v modeling it already. Let me go to here and say save edit. Don't need to pass anything in. I will be making a payload here. So const payload equals in object. So why isn't const highlighting properly? What am I doing wrong? Save edit. Oh, maybe it is highlighting. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. For some reason I thought, because it was all blue here, that something wasn't right. All right, so then I will say the name is this dot selected list name. So I'll be passing in this updated payload, and I will mock the user again. So I'll just say user1, user ID 1. All right, and now I'll need an action. So it will be this dot patch. What is it? Patch list. let's see. Yeah, patch list it should be. And then pass in the payload. All right, and I'll need patch list. So let me go ahead and put this on a new line. Or wait, let me, oops, put these on new lines. That's better. So get there. And now let me import patch list, which I'm going to create. So this patch list action I'll need to create over here in my list namespace. So async, patch list, and then I'll need commit. I am passing in a payload because I need the list that I've updated. And I'm going to make my API call. So const data. Actually, since I'm patching, I'm not creating. I won't need data back in order to be able to update my state because I already have the information I need. So I can just do await. Let's see, await, make my Axios call. So await axios.patch. And then let's see. I need to, yeah, the same API URL that I'm using before. So I'll pass that in as a variable. And then it will be /lists. Now, because I'm patching, it's going to be /lists/ID. So, So I will need the list ID. So payload, I guess payload will have, what should it have? It should have data on it. Let me see. So I'll have to pull things off of payload. So data will be the actual object that I want to pass into the API, the actual list that I want to update. And then I also want to have list ID, so I know which list to update. So let me pull that off of payload. So I'm going to have to update my component in a second. And then, so it will be lists/list ID, and then a trailing slash. Okay, so data, let me go back into my Vue component, and I need to have data here. So let's see, how should I do this? So, let me do const data inside. No, I'll just do data. So that, and then, okay. So I have payload data, and then I need list ID. Let me put that first. So list ID, and then what should be, how do I get the list ID? So in item, when I'm setting edit list, I should save the current list, I guess. So as an object, so current editing or list, I'm editing, or selected list. I guess I'll do selected list because I'll also be using this for lists that I want to delete if I'm going to use a confirm box. So, okay, so selected list. Let me get rid of selected list name because I'll have name on here. So I'm going to change how I'm view modeling. It's going to be selected list.name. And then when I open that dialog here, I'm going to say selected list equals the whole item. And I think that's what I need there. Okay, and then this dot selected list. Yeah, right now I'm only able to update the names, so that's all I'm going to do, and mock the user ID. And then the list ID I can now get off of this selected list.id. Okay, so let me see if that works. Is there anything else I need to do? I'll hook up the mutation later. Data is assigned a value but never used. Okay, so I need that for the mutation, so I'm just gonna do that so it stops complaining. Okay. Now if I hit edit, let's say morning routines. Oh, there's some kind of issue. Oh, now it's going to tasks. So let me go back to lists. And right, so when I'm typing, it's the event, it's causing an error right away. And wasn't it doing that before in last stream? Wasn't it doing that for the task input? Oh, let me go to the tasks page. So text edit field, key press dot enter, click dot stop. Am I stopping propagation? Let me see if that fixes it from, because this is nested inside of, oh no, it's not directly inside, so of my tree view. But anyway, it can't hurt to stop. This means stop propagation in Vue. So only the click handler will handle that event. Okay, so let me go back to lists. And now, no, an error occurred. Why? Let me look at the Vue Dev Tools. So in my Vue Dev Tools, like I always say, I can't zoom in here on Firefox, so I'll try to just narrate what I'm doing if you can't see it. So I'm going into the Events tab. Let me go back to lists. And I'll click on Edit. Okay, so I get the click event. But whenever I hit S, I get key down and input events, but then it's erroring. So why is it doing that? I'm not even clicking on the buttons here. So let's see. vText field. Why would I be getting, or why is it coming up with an error page? Let me look at my server that's running. Okay, those, it's just complaining about linting errors. Those have nothing to do with the problem. So why is it here? Oh, this is why. Okay, I remember now. So I'm mutating Vuex state outside of the mutation handlers. So I need to fix that. And what I am doing is, get out of there. Okay, so I'm in my lists component, my index file, and where am I setting it? Where am I setting the list? So here I have lists, and then I'm just displaying those. And then when I go to edit a list, I'm saying this dot selected list equals item. So I guess that item is still mapped to my Vuex state. So I think what I need to do is make a copy of the item so it's not pointing to the same object. I think so. Let's see. Let's see if that works. All right, so now I'm going to click edit. Sweet, that works. Okay, but now my network request failed. Yeah. So I keep forgetting when I get that weird error, it means I'm accidentally mutating Vuex state outside of a mutation. So I just need to remember to make copies of my items so I'm not pointing to the same thing. All right. Oh, for a second, I looked over at my screen. I forgot I have a green screen. I was like, wow, that looks really good. Okay. Let's see. Why is this network request failing then? Oh, I'm passing undefined. That's why. So it's list/undefined instead of list ID. So then, why is it undefined? So let me look on the component. In my Vue Dev Tools, I'm going to go into this component that I'm in right now, which is, okay, so it's in VApp, vContent, all those Vuetify things. And then it's in Nuxt. And then I am in Pages List Index. Okay. So I have all of my component states. So edit dialog is true because the dialog's open. New list name, selected list, which is an object. Okay, so there's no ID. Why is there no ID for list? Huh. Okay, I think I know what the problem is that I'm not returning the ID from the API. So let me go into my views here in the API. And yep, just as I thought, I am not returning an ID here, which I need to return. So I'm going to have to update the API. And for list item, I might as well go ahead and add an ID. Because I'm already doing that with tasks. If I open my tasks file, where is tasks? My views. Yeah, I'm returning an ID from the API. Okay, so I have this, so now I'm going to have to, oh no, my server restarted, so that's good. Okay. So now I think if I pull these list items again, they should come with IDs this time. So let me look at these list items. Yes, and now they have IDs. So this should work. Let me go back into my network tab and now try to edit. So morning routine to morning routines. And I get a 200 back. Response. What? Why would it? It didn't update anything. I changed it to an S, but it didn't update. I have to figure out why. Okay, I got this exact same thing back. So why didn't it update? Let me see. So, well, first when I save and edit here, I need to close that modal. So this dot edit dialog should be false. So it closes after save. And then I also need to reset the selected list, set it back to an empty object. So I'll go ahead and do that here. So this dot selected list equals an empty object. Okay, so now with that housekeeping, so now payload.data. I have it on data here. Oh, I know. I'm not passing anything into the patch request. All right, so I need to pass in data here as the second argument to the patch request. Hi, Addit. How are you? Okay, so that should work now. Now let me try one more time. Let me refresh it. Clear all these other API calls. Let me edit cats. Cat stuff. Cool. And I get a 200 back. And it's updated. So now if I refresh, it says cat stuff. Cool. Um, what? Okay, what I want to do in the future is order by, because these seem to come back in a random order. Because I'm not ordering by anything, so I'll fix that later so they come back in the same order. I should order by date actually, like the date that they were created or updated or something. Okay, so now patch needs one more thing. And that is to update locally so I don't have to refresh the page to get that update. So let me commit, commit, and what did I do? Oh, let me undo whatever I did. Okay, commit, what did I call this? Let me go into my store. What did I call this in tasks? When I patch task. Okay, so I just had edit. So let me add an edit list and pass it. What should I pass? I guess data, because that'll have the ID on it. No, it won't. It'll have. Let me just pass the payload, because then I'll have list ID and the data I want to update. Okay. So let me go to my mutations, add a new mutation. I'm going to call it edit list, state, pass the payload, and then I'll do state dot. So I want to splice the list. So let's see. So if I do state dot, I need to find the index. Hi Lars. Yeah, I'm almost done. I'm just figuring out one more thing. But if you haven't heard, I'll be streaming on Free Code Camp's channel, hopefully from this Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So I'll be streaming Vue.js from there, and I'm so excited about it. So state.lists. So what did I need to do first? I have the ID of the list, but now that I'm looking on state, I need to find the index so I can update the right list. Dot. Is there a find index? Yeah. And then I guess it will be list. Wait, this is an arrow function. All right, so I find the list. So I'm looping through all the lists, and now I will find the index when list.id is equal to payload.listid. Okay, and let me go back to the beginning here. I'm going to say const index equals. So now I have the index of the list. So now I can come to state and do state.list. Now it's on the root level. No, it's in a nested list on state, so I will have to splice to get it to update, or to get Vue to see the changes, I think. So state.list. So in the lists array dot splice. Okay, and then yeah, because to splice I pass in the index. So I pass in the index, and then I pass in the new object. So let me create that object here, the updated list object. Updated list. And this will be basically a copy of the old list. So it will be state.lists and then the index of the old list, and then plus I want to overwrite the new name on it. So I'll do payload.data. Now that I'm looking at it, I can probably simplify this, but we'll see. So payload.data. What's next? What's next? Thanks. Dot name. Yeah, because it's name. Okay. And then I'll be pushing this code in just a minute so anyone can look at it. And then now I can splice, so I'm removing whatever is at that index, and now I'm replacing it with this updated list. And then 1. Okay, so I think what I'm doing is finding what's at that index. Oh no, I need, this is backwards. So splice takes the index that I want to, takes an index in the list, takes how many items I want to remove from that index, and takes an optional third parameter, or I'm passing in a third argument to if I want to replace or insert an item there. Okay, I think that's right. So let me now go here and break that down. Okay, now if I edit nightly routine, I'm going to say my nightly routine, save. Sweet! And now it updates. Perfect. So I think like probably 60 live streams ago, nobody's helped me figure out why these weren't updating. It's because Vuex wants you, or you need to splice it out and insert it back in for Vuex. You can't just update like one property, or Vuex won't see the change to update the DOM before using. No, I actually have API URL. For right now, it's just defined in the file. But yeah, I'll put it somewhere else later. There's a lot of config that I need to do because I'm just, this const, I'm defining it in each individual file right now, basically. So let me push this code then. Let me look at the front end code. So I'll have to push the back end too because I made those small changes. So let me do a git status first. I added this folder in this file, and then I modified the ESLint so it wouldn't crash every time I had a comma dangle. So that all looks good. I'll just do a git add git commit -m. I'm going to say code from live stream on June. What's today? June 17th? Yeah, it's June 17th. Okay. All right, so that's done. Now I'll push that. Oh no, I need to pull because I think I made README updates just straight in GitHub. I usually do that. All right, I need to make a lot more README updates too. So git push. All right. And sweet, that's updated. Let me stop the backend server. And I just basically updated returning IDs. So I think it's just, yeah, it's just these 2 lines changed with IDs. All right, so I'll do git commit -am code from live stream on June 17th. And I'll push that too. Okay, sweet. Awesome. So all the code is live. You can check that out. There, it's linked in the description below. Make sure you join my Discord. That's also in the description. And come and give me any suggestions for live streams. You can ask questions or post stuff that you've created in there. And, oh wait, let me update what we did. So add list page. We added the lists page. implement CRUD operations for lists. So I need to add a checklist here. I'll add that after the stream because we did like, I don't know, half of this today because we can get and we can post and we can patch, but we can't delete yet. So we still need to do delete. Okay, and then we have some other tasks. I'll add some more tasks here for next time. Friday, don't forget, Friday is my, thanks. Good to have you, Dave. Friday is my live stream on Free Code Camp. Hopefully that's all worked out. Same time, 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And I will also be streaming again Sunday. I'll post that later. All right. Join Discord and have a great day, everybody. Bye.